You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Jamie Lubeck says violating the oath of office should be grounds for removal of from office. Being anti-American does violate that oath. Should someone who is an elected representative of the people of the United States be pro-America? Isaac Tate asks a perfect question. Isaac Tate asks a perfect question. Who determines what's anti-American? There's a famous quote about pornography that was given by a former United States Supreme Court justice. I know it when I see it. And yes, what Ilhan Omar, what AOC, and so on, what all these people are talking about, their attacks on the Bill of Rights, their attacks on the United States of America, all of these things lead them to be disqualified for office. Now, do I believe that they should be impeached? No, I don't believe they should be impeached. Do I believe that they should have term limits? No, I don't believe that. I believe that the voters of all those districts that sent these people to the United States government, they should be aware of the actual reality of their work, and they should correct it with their next possible vote. They should. The left is famous, and the right, everybody's famous for torpedoing the careers of various congresspeople that they don't like. I myself would gladly send out a couple of $100 to someone who's trying to primary AOC. If there's somebody in Queens, even if it's a Democrat, from Queens, I'd be more than happy to send a couple of $250 to some Democrat candidate who's trying to primary AOC. Telephone number 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. Let's listen to what AOC has to say regarding the tweets from President Trump.
It's unfortunate that he feels the way he feels about people of color in this country. It's unfortunate the way he feels about immigrants, naturalized citizens or not, in this country. But I think what I would tell him is that it's time to move on from him, and it's time to move on from his conception of an America that we have tried to move past for a long time.
As you say, race relations, a deep issue in this country. This is a deliberate move from the leader of this country.
Absolutely, it is. And that is because he relies on racism, division, and anti-immigrant sentiment to consolidate power because he does not have a positive vision for the future of America. This president does not believe in an America where healthcare is a right. He does not believe in an America that offers a dignified education to all people, regardless of income. He doesn't believe in a prosperous future for our country. He believes that everything is a threat. And I just don't think from a leadership perspective that's a strong place to operate from.
All right. So you just heard AOC spewing. Here, let's analyze the spew, shall we? Let's see what we can do about bringing some reality to this 20-year-old's idea of what reality's like when it comes to the United States of America.
It's unfortunate that he feels the way he feels about people of color in this country.
It's unfortunate the way he feels about people of color in this country. Let's see. How do Democrats feel about people of color in this country? How do they feel? Two questions off that. Okay, so are they people that should be served and should be lifted up, or are they people that should be hornswoggled into casting more votes for Democrats? Okay? The 30th Congressional District is right over my right shoulder. It's right back there. You know it hasn't changed for the entire time that Eddie Bernice Johnson has been the congresswoman from that district. Hasn't changed a bit. Why? How is that? As a matter of fact, when was the last thing Eddie Bernice Johnson did that anybody knows anything about? Here, let's keep going.
Fortunate the way he feels about immigrants, naturalized citizens or not.
Immigrants are legal residents of the United States. Naturalized immigrants, of course, are citizens. If they're naturalized, they're citizens. Not that that means anything, as we found out regarding this anti-American garbage about saying, no, you can't ask an American whether they're a citizen. That is just plain claptrap. That is garbage. And so what they're saying is what she's saying is that, well, let's just hear it again, shall we?
The way he feels about immigrants, naturalized citizens or not.
Naturalized citizens or not. The people that are here illegally, are not immigrants. They are foreign national aliens living illegally in the United States. If you don't agree with the law, change the law. Do I agree with you changing the law? No. Will I defend to the death your right to give it a try to change the law? Absolutely. And if you're able to change the law...
Country,
whoa. That's wonderful. I just bumped the mouse. Anyway, if you change the law, I'm fine. I'll follow the change. I will until the next election where I can elect somebody that will change it back. Because I believe that the United States should have an immigration policy, not this political ignorance of American law, which is exactly what's going on. And it's not just a Democrat thing. It's both sides. Let's keep going.
Citizens are not in this country, but I think what I would tell him is that it's time to move on.
Yes, AOC, it is time to move on. Thank you very much for, you were talking about him. Never mind.
From him. And it's time to move on from his conception of an America that we have tried to move past for a long time.
What is that conception? And who is this person asking her the next question, which is the ultimate in essentially leading the witness?
Race relations, a deep issue in this country.
A deep issue in this country.
It's a deliberate move from the leader of this country.
It's a deliberate move from the leader of this country. It's from somebody who's not a member of this country. I'm sure it's probably a BBC reporter. Maybe it's Christiane Amanpour. Yes, I know, hideous. The hideous Christiane Amanpour. She's sitting there saying, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Yes, it's ridiculous. It's terrible, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh.
Absolutely, it is. And that is because he relies on racism, division, and anti-immigrant sentiment to...
He relies on racism and but please remember all of these statements that are being made. Please, by all means, do. Isaac from Burleson, welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you here, my friend.
Mr. Wells, how goes it?
It goes very strangely as the President of the United States says some very plain things, and people are burning down over it.
Actually, he tweeted comments that were inflammatory. He stated...
To who?
To a lot of people of color, Mr. Wells.
Why?
So what you're doing... Okay, let me explain why. What you're doing, you are articulating what you perceive his comments or his tweets were. I'm taking the literal context of his tweet, which said, if you do not agree with me, talking about 4 women, 3 of them being natural-born Americans, to go back to their country. What country are we talking about? Because they are Americans.
They said go back where they came from.
Okay, I was read, go back to and you continue reading, say the country.
Huh?
And deal with those countries. These are Americans.
Hang on just a second. I got them all right here. Okay, so here are all the tweets. So interesting to see progressive Democrat congresswomen who originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe.
There we go, right there.
The worst, most corrupt, and inept anywhere in the world.
There we go.
What? Is that racist?
Yes, very racist.
Why?
And you're
Why
very,
is it racist?
Why
is it racist?
Because first of all, and this is funny coming from a man.
No. This isn't about me, Isaac. This is not about me, Isaac.
No, not you.
Okay.
I'm talking about the president who has married 2 women from another country to tell someone else to go back to a country And these are 3 Americans out of the 4
Okay,
women.
well, stop you. Let me stop you. So Melania has said nasty things about America?
I believe that Melania and Donald Trump did not agree with President Obama. They both questioned.
How do you know?
They both, because it's on record.
And by the way, Isaac,
legitimacy.
hang on a second. What difference does it make whether you disagree with President Obama? I disagree with President Obama, but he was my president, and you know it.
And he never told anyone, if you don't like it, you can get out the country.
Okay, so he wasn't confronted with the same facts. He wasn't confronted with people that were trying to degrade and deride the government of the United States or the people of the United States or the country of the United States or the Constitution of the United States. These people are.
These people are calling out what they see or show. In the words of...
wait just a minute. Now stop. I have to stop you, Isaac, because I want to hear what you have to say. So interesting to see these progressive Democrat congresswomen who originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe, the worst, most corrupt, inept anywhere in the world. You say that's racist. I want to know why you think that's racist.
Okay, that's not the original tweet.
That is the original tweet. I'm reading it right here. I just read it to you.
The part that is racist when you tell someone
the worst, most corrupt and inept anywhere in the world, if they have a functioning government at all. Are you telling me? Are you telling me the government of Somalia is some bastion of world government that all of us should look to and say, yes, that's the way you do it?
That's not their government. They're American citizens.
Listen, all I'm trying to tell you is that he is discussing go back to where you came from. You know, a lot of politicians over the years have said a lot of things like that.
Okay, for example?
Oh, let's see. All the Southern Democrats who used to talk to, beginning in 1822, the white-led American Colonization Society resettled thousands of freeborn blacks and freed slaves in West Africa next to Sierra Leone, which became Liberia.
All right. So
okay, who did that? Who did that?
You just proved my point.
Who did that? That was in 1822, Isaac. This is not 1822.
You're proving my point. It's the reason why. Even Lincoln himself did not want to deal with the issue of slavery and proposed to Congress to send the slaves back to Africa.
And Lincoln was a Democrat president, right?
No, he was a Republican.
Oh, that's right. Doggone it, you're right. He's the guy that freed all the slaves, but somehow Republicans are racist. Is that right?
That's after the Southern strategy.
Okay, well, hang on. The Southern strategy. Okay, so let's, since you brought in the South, let's talk a little bit about the white-led American Colonization Society. Those are the people that put up all the monuments to the lost cause all through the South and, oh, by the way, North. Remember those guys? Were they Republicans or were they Democrats?
I thought that was the daughter of the Civil War.
They were Democrats.
Oh, the daughters of the Civil War. Mr.
The people that say that President Trump is a racist for saying that these people should go back to where they came from, all he's doing is quoting good Democrats from the 40s and 50s and 60s. That's all he's doing. So are you saying that all of those white Southern Democrats from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, some of them members of the Ku Klux Klan, are you saying that they were indeed racists? Are you saying that they were indeed wrong? Are you saying that they were indeed racist thugs trying to divide the United States?
Am I allowed to answer that?
You certainly are.
First of all, even today, in the great state of Tennessee, you have the governor declare Nathan Bedford Forrest Day, the KKK originator, the wizard. Mr. Wells, it doesn't matter what political party an individual belongs to, it's their beliefs. And if you have a president of the United States telling American people of color to go back to your country.
That's not what he's saying. Sorry. Gosh almighty. No, that's not what he's saying. He's not saying that people of color should go back to where they came from.
No, he told four women.
He's saying Ilhan Omar should go back to where she came from if she doesn't like the United States of America. And
he never specifically said her.
What?
He never specifically said her. He know what he said. You know what he's. You're bright, young. You bright. You know you're better. You're better than this.
No. Don't say that. No, I'm asking you questions. I want you to explain it. I want you to explain it. I want you to tell me just exactly what's racist. And so far, you haven't been able to do it. And if you have been able to do it, you haven't been able to do it without explaining all the racism from the southern white politicians who were Democrats. They called themselves Dixiecrats. You haven't done a thing about that, man. Now, I'm going to give you a chance to think. I'm going to ask you to stick around. Isaac Tate is one of the best Democrats I've ever spoken to. He's a reasonable man. He's African American. And he's joining us on the Wells Report. We'll hear more from him next as we continue on Monday afternoon.
Welcome to Tax Talk with Hollywood legend Bob Eubanks.
You know, as part of Hollywood for a long time, I've seen my fair share of celebrities get in trouble with the IRS. Well, there's one name I trust, the Tax Defense Group. They're the most trusted name in tax. So if you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS, you really need to call my friends at the Tax Defense Group. Ignoring the IRS is not the solution. They can garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, seize your home or business. But the Tax Defense Group could put a stop to all of that and tailor a program that would reduce your tax debt to pennies on the dollar. You gotta love that. So don't just take my word for it. Call them. Find out for yourself. They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and they're open 24 hours a day because they know that tax debt doesn't sleep either.
Call now for your free and confidential tax analysis from the most trusted name in tax. Call 800-832-1594. 800-832-1594.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS and you cannot afford to make payments to the IRS, you may qualify for the CNC tax program. This is a new program, and if you qualify, you won't make any payments to the IRS while in this program. Once you're accepted into this program, the IRS is forced to stop all harassing collection activities. No threatening phone calls, no wage garnishments, no bank levies, and no more monthly payments to the IRS. Get ready to write this number down. It's the most important number you'll ever need to end your IRS tax nightmare. Call Paramount Tax Relief at 800-547-4804 for a free confidential consultation to find out if you qualify for the CNC tax program. Once you are accepted into the CNC tax program, you won't make any payments to the IRS while in this program. Call Paramount Tax Relief now at 800-547-4804. That's 800-547-4804. Again, 800-547-4804.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. Again, that's 800-871-3291.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number is 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. Using that number expertly is Isaac from Burleson, Texas, who joins us on the Wells Report. Should you be pro-American if you are a congressman or congresswoman or senator working in the United States government? You swear an oath to the Constitution. Should that be taken more seriously? Isaac, I did a lot of talk in that last segment. What do you want to say?
Basically, to your points, you had the Daughters of the Confederacy who put up those second place trophies, those Lee statues, et cetera, et cetera. The Dixiecrats, we're not going to agree on that. Well, here's my point, and I appreciate the conversation that you're having. Again, the reason why I am an avid supporter of you because you allow the callers, either, even those who disagree with you, to call in, to voice their opinion. To me, I'm telling you that the President of the United States should have to be set to a higher standard. Jim Hurd of Texas, Tim Scott of South Carolina have already announced his statements. And again, that type of tweet, that type of language that he used is divisive and at best is racist at worst, and we should strive to be better people.
Let me ask you a question. Since you brought up President Obama, and you know me.
Yes, sir.
You know me because we talked about President Obama a lot when he was the President of the United States on this broadcast.
Okay.
Who do you believe is more divisive from a racial standpoint? President Obama or President Trump? And why?
It's President Trump. It's not even close.
No.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. I'm talking about.
I'm going to tell you why.
Well, just let me clarify.
Sure.
I'm talking about actual changing of race relations in the nation.
I'm gonna give you some
Okay.
clues. I'm gonna give you my
Okay, you do it.
position
No,
on this.
I'm asking for your opinion.
Okay. First off, when you have a candidate who tells the media that this judge cannot give me a fair decision because he's Mexican, even though he was born in Indiana, that's racist. You have a candidate who went online on websites like Stormfront and pulled tweets that said that African Americans are responsible for 83% of whites' deaths, which is absolute lies. That's dangerous. When you got a president who, again, we can disagree on it, who took the Charlottesville situation.
Well, hang on a second. Let me say something. Let me say something about that. What about Black Lives Matter? You're talking about that. That's inflammatory the other direction, isn't it? I mean, Black Lives Matter. They went out after cops. They went out after a lot of people, right?
Okay.
So that's fomented action that occurred beginning with the Obama administration. That's the President of the United States. We talk about Trump saying stupid things, okay, and he's capable of doing it. But what about President Obama saying something about how the police acted stupidly regarding the Harvard professor?
Okay, and this goes back to your point. That's why I got you. You just talked about the Fourth Amendment. The professor was at his house. He proved his identity. The cops were in his home. He had to go through the side door. Someone called the police. He proved, Dr. Gates proved his identity. The cops saw his pictures on the mantle, proved that it was him. As the cops were leaving, yes, he got mouthy, but then they arrested him. Now, again, that's not stupid policing? You know who you are. This is your home, and you still get arrested for proving who you are.
Well, the thing about it is that, you and I have always agreed on the Fourth Amendment and the abuses of the Fourth Amendment in this country. I mean, they're rife and they're long and they're bipartisan and so on, and they have to be fixed. That's really not what we're talking about here. What I want to get to is this.
Mm-hmm.
I think the President of the United States is essentially calling out these congresswomen for their anti-Americanism. Okay, that's what I think. You think it's racist.
Okay.
I don't think it's racist.
Oh.
I think it's simply, if you look at it analytically and straightforwardly, I think that's the best analysis of the facts. You get the last word.
Okay, now, I'll say this. You did a better job articulating that. If he said the exact words you said, there could be no accusation of racism. But he did not use those words.
No, he
said,
did.
Go back to your country.
No. I was reading. Sorry to interrupt you. I was reading the texts verbatim. I read them verbatim.
Out with go back to your country. That nullifies everything. That takes the focus off your original premise.
Okay.
Your main focus.
Isaac.
All right.
I look forward to your calls every time you make them, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Be blessed.
God bless. You be blessed too. That's Isaac from Burleson, one of the great Americans on the political left. He's a real Democrat, and I truly appreciate the time that he spends with us on the Wells Report. You're listening to the USA Radio Network. Back with more in just a moment.
It is a horrible scenario, but it happens. Dennis writes about his wife. She was diagnosed with leukemia. In fact, she's a 2-time survivor, and in the midst of all that, they ran up over $1 million in medical bills. Thankfully, They're Medi-Share members, and Dennis says they are so thankful for that, how others came together to meet their needs. And that's how so many Medi-Share members feel. This is not health insurance. It's different. You don't have to pay for things you don't believe in. And like Dennis found out, it just works. So if you join Medi-Share, not only do you save a lot of money, the typical family saves about $500 a month, but you know where your money's going each month. You're helping people, and if the time should come, they'll be helping and even praying for you. So yes, it's different, and as more than 400,000 people now know when it comes to healthcare costs, different is beautiful. Find out more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.